Hello and welcome to ProITians. Till now we have seen the various options that we have for the availability options, right? We touched base on the load balancer. We created a couple of virtual machines, and then we configured web servers on that, right? Now, from this session, we are going to touch base on the various options that we are getting on storage perspective from Microsoft, right? So there are four basic storage options that Microsoft is providing to us. So I mean the biggest one is the blob, which is most used. It provides the unstructured data, and then we have the other storage options such as Azure Files, Azure Queues, and Azure Tables. So we are going to have a quick overview of all these four in this session, and then in the coming sessions we are going to look at each of them in details. All right? Great. I'll see you in the session then. Thank you. Welcome back to ProITians. So in this session, we are going to look at the various storage options that Microsoft provides in Azure Cloud. Right? Great. So this is going to be a brief overview about Azure Storage, and we'll start with the options. Right? So Azure Storage is your Microsoft solution to provide cloud storage. Right? So in Microsoft Azure, we have the following options. That is Azure Blob. It is used to provide scalable, unstructured, large amount of data storage option. Azure Files. It provides managed file share option, and Azure Tables. It actually provides solution for NoSQL structured data, right? And Azure Queues, it provides solution for messaging store. I mean, that is used for the applications, right? Great. So let's briefly touch base on Azure Blob. So what is Azure Blob? So Azure Blob Storage is Microsoft's object storage solution for the cloud, right? It is optimized to store maximum amount of unstructured data such as texts or binary data, right? And it is also suitable for images and videos, streaming and videos, again storing log files, storing data for backup and restore. And since it is storing large binary objects, it is also named as blob. In short, because it actually stores binary large objects. So B is for binary, L is for large, and OB is for objects. So that's why it's also referred as blob, right? Great. Now there are things that we need to consider before we create blob storage in Azure. So it should have a unique namespace in Azure, right? You can't have a generic name, and then it could happen that this particular name is already taken in by someone else in Azure. So you need to have a unique namespace, right? It is used to store unstructured data, right? It's not like your SQL database or something like that. No, it's used for storing unstructured data. It is a creation. We'll have to first create a storage account and then containers, right? So we'll see all this in our lab section in the next session, right? But what are containers? So containers are similar to a directory in a file system, right? Like how you store your files, how you organize your files and text in your directory. It's the same reference that we use for cloud, right? It's referred as containers, and it can also have folders inside that. All right, great. Then now let's move to the next one, that is Azure Files. All right, so what are Azure Files? So Azure Files are used for storing files, of course, and can be accessed using SMB protocol. So Azure files can be accessed using SMB protocol. It offers fully managed file share in the cloud, right? And file systems can be mounted both on cloud machine and on premise. So I mean, wherever you mount it can be mounted anywhere. Okay, you have that option. An application can mount file store share to access file data, right? It's not limited to only for manual intervention. You can configure your application to mount the file share on cloud, right? Now this is how it works. So you can mount on your on-prem, all right, or you can mount on cloud, all right. And then in case if you're mounting here, your data is replicated to cloud also. And if you're mounting on cloud, then your data will be replicated on your local machine. All right. Yeah. So it will be available at both the places. All right. Great. Now let's move to the next one. That is Azure Queues. It's your messaging store. All right. Azure Queue Storage is a source for storing large number of messages, right? Messages can be accessed over internet, and it provides messaging store for reliable messaging between app components, all right? So you can actually use it for the file replication for the applications, okay? When app components are decoupled, they can scale independently, right? So it's not actually, I mean, your data will not be lost in that way. All right. It provides asynchronous message queue. Right. So queue storage provides asynchronous message queuing for communication between application components. Right. Now let's move to the next one, that is Azure Tables. Okay. So it's also referred as NoSQL structured data. Right. So unlike BLOB, which we discussed earlier, where BLOB is used for storing unstructured data, tables are used for storing structured data, right? And it's also referred as NoSQL data store. Okay, so it's ideal for storing structured, non-relational data. Okay, and one thing to note is the tables are dynamic and scale as demand increases. Okay. We're at the end of this session, and you can refer to these links for your future learnings, all right, or developing your skills on Azure. All right, great. If you have any further queries, you can put it on the comment sections, and please don't forget to click on subscribe and hit on the bell icon to get notifications real time. All right, great. I'll see you in the next session with more information on each of these storage topics. Alright? Until then, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.